All right, so this is the kitchen where we're gonna be working on, and I say we because Nick is helping out load and unload the dishwasher, all that good stuff. The kitchen itself probably has not been cleaned in a couple of weeks, if I'm being honest with you. There's stains on the floor. It just kind of feels dirty. Not to mention heavy traffic that comes in through the garage door when it's snowing, among other things. So there's a lot on here that's just been sitting. It's sticky, it's stained, that just needs to be cleaned. And just a lot to be put away, wiped down. I'm gonna hold off a little bit, at least until mid-February or so, right after Valentine's Day, before I start putting out springtime decor. As you guys can probably see through the window, there's still snow. We're in the brunt of winter right now, so I'm just gonna leave it be, but spring decor will be coming hopefully mid-February. But for now, we're gonna do a nice reset in here, and I'm hopeful to get into the hallway as well as the play area for my son in the living room. So we are officially into February. How is everyone doing? Are you excited? I had so many people on my Instagram as well as like Facebook, you're on YouTube, that just said January was the longest month. I guess I can agree and disagree. We had a really good January, and I think it flew by the last week or so. Felt like it did take a little bit, but to me, January and early February is always like tax season, so I don't get super excited. It just is what it is. We kind of do our best to get through. It was snowing today as I'm doing my voiceover for this. Yeah, so we're just kind of doing our best to get by, but let me know how you're all doing. I know many people look forward to February for the vacation if you work at a school. Same for me. I'm looking forward just to a lot of different stuff. It's also my husband's birthday, which lands on Valentine's Day. We've got the Super Bowl, and I can't stand either team who's in it. But you let me know if you're rooting for one team over the other. I'm always interested to see what the rest of my friends, are kind of doing for Super Bowl. But yeah, I wanted to get the kitchen cleaned up, and it had been neglected, as I mentioned, quite a bit. So what I'm working on here is just little things to kind of clean it up, including the windows. I hadn't wiped these down with Windex. This is something I could do at least once a week, and I always tend to neglect it. Went over to the coffee bar, reset that. I put out very little Valentine's Day decor, but you will see some sprinkled throughout the video. I don't do too much for it because the minute Valentine's Day is over, I'm going to be honest, I'll probably put that away and I'm going to start putting out the spring decor, only because I'm ready. I'm willing spring to come. I have to start planting the garden. But let me know what you're excited for.
I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way, I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. Cause I found my way, my way, my way, my way, my way. I found my way, I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way.
Okay, so since I finished with the dishes, the sink really does need to be cleaned out. It's pretty gross. It has not been done in quite a while, but I'm gonna wait on that. I do want to try and get the stove done first, as well as the microwave. I figure if I put the grates in with the sink, clean all that up first, clean the sink last, and I can just go through and wipe down the countertops. And from there, honestly, not much to do other than vacuum in and mopping the floors.
So you can kind of see here, just with the microwave, all the fingerprints, it looks greasy. Same for the stove. So I'm just using the Dawn Power Wash with this and a microfiber cloth. I ran out of the pink stuff. I honestly need to purchase more. Let me know what you're all using for cleaners in your kitchen, whether it's a degreaser or whatever your favorite product is. The Dawn Power Wash has been consistent for me for the last few years. I use it on dishes when things are set in. I use it on the stove. I use it on stainless steel with a little bit of water to activate it, but honestly, it does a great job. I personally have no complaints for that. The stove was pretty dirty, so I wanted to get in there and give it a good scrub. The products I typically use, just in terms of scrubbers, I either use the Scrub Mommy brushes, like little sponges, or Scrub Daddy. Either or, I feel like really takes tackles like that grease and the grime buildup that's on there, and it just leaves it looking nice and clean after. It pretty much soaks up a lot of like the excess liquid and whatever else is there. Let me know if you use a particular sponge or cleaning product specifically for your kitchen. Okay, so the stove is cleaned. It's missing some of the pieces there, like the little kettle. I'm gonna fill that up with some boiling water for when I have to mop the floor. The one thing I wanted to show you guys, I have a Clorox wipe. I'm just gonna come over and do the door handle. Now, typically I will Lysol this, and especially during this type of season, but you guys can probably see it's somewhat dirty there. I'm just gonna fold that over and kind of do along the door. Now, between my husband and I coming in throughout the day, carrying groceries, among other things, we have my son sometimes with stickier fingers and whatnot. This does a really good job of cleaning some of the dirt and fingerprints that are on here, but in general, I would say this is a great thing to do during cold and flu season, and just to do maybe once a month. I think most of us forget to disinfect the doorknobs or the light switches and things like that. So this is the dirt that I just pulled off of that little section there. Just something to remember to do, definitely during cold and flu season, but at least once a month, twice a month. It harbors a lot of germs.
Nobody told me to settle down.
So for the countertops, they weren't too bad, but I did want to give it a quick spray down. I go back and forth between Wavens Cleaner, Mrs. Myers if it's not super dirty. When it tends to be dirty, if we've been working with, beef, chicken, anything that might have like bled those liquids onto the surface, I will tidy it up with the Clorox and bleach spray, and then usually wipe it down with hot water or something like that, just to kind of make sure the excess is wiped off of there, just in case. But let me know what you use for your quartz stone. This has worked really well for me these past few years. And again, with a microfiber cloth. The Wayman's cleaner that I have smells like citrus, so it's not overpowering. And I think it does a great job. I know every channel you come across for cleaning and organizing, people are going to have their favorites, their preferences, but this is what works well for me and my family. I can only kind of speak to those items and products, but to each their own. People will push different things. Not that I'm trying to push anything, not in my videos. I'm not trying to be an influencer in any which way, but I do like to share products that I think will work for people, and that have worked for me. And I'm always interested to see people's suggestions as well. I'm somebody who will try something, and if it works for our family, then great. It very well might work for yours.
You are like, I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, yeah. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody was at the wrong place at the right time. 'Cause suddenly there you were with those bright blue eyes. We were conversing under the night sky when you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy.
So once the rest of the cleaning was done, I went in and started vacuuming, and my gosh, the amount of crumbs that were on this floor, there were like crunchy leaves, and I don't know how that is, probably from the garage. There was just a lot on the floor. So I love my vacuum. It does a great job getting in there. It's very powerful. So I'll always vacuum first before anything else. I have some friends who choose to sweep first, then vacuum, then mop. I don't sweep too much in my household. Sometimes I feel like that drags around more dirt, at least in our case, but I will vacuum everything first and foremost. Sometimes I vacuum before I start doing my cleaning, depending on what's on the floor. Especially like when I clean bathrooms, I like to vacuum it first, do my cleaning, debris, deep cleaning, re-vacuum it again, and then wash it. And I say that only because I shed a ton of hair, so the bathroom tends to be a hot spot where I need to kind of vacuum it first. But once I was done in the kitchen with the vacuuming, I went in with the spin mop, boiling water, some Fabuloso, that's my usual, and I actually did 2 full passes on here because the water was so dirty. I probably could have done a third, a fourth. Rule of thumb is usually to kind of keep washing it until the water will run kind of clear when you're doing a water dump. But honestly, this got the job done. The kitchen felt so light, and we've been able to keep up with it. We're keeping up with everything, wiping down the surfaces. Um, by the time this posts on a Sunday, I'll probably be back at it with the same routine, but just not as in depth.
Don't wanna be shy. I will let my guard down. I wanna laugh out loud. Talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. I wanna laugh out loud. Talk a little deeper, kiss a little harder. Love a little louder. Love a little louder. Love a little louder. Love a little louder. Love a little louder.
So kitchen is all cleaned up. Hubby's just getting back with some lunch, but it makes a big difference. I did a double pass on the floor just because of how dirty it had been. Countertops are done, sink. So everything's nice and reset in here. We're gonna get some lunch, and then I'm gonna move on into Logan's play area because he'll be taking a nap shortly after. If you can't tell, we've all been sick. He'll be taking a nap shortly after. This way I can get through, disinfect everything, clean everything up over here. We'll get this carpet kind of picked up and in the wash, and then the living room. Alright, so some of the things that need to be cleaned up. We've got debris on the floor and the carpet. I'm going to take care of that after. Pretty much, my husband's going to help me out with this, but we are going to tackle all the toys, disinfect this with some Lysol wipes, things of that nature, the kitchen, pretty much everything you see here he's played with. We decluttered a lot right before Christmas and even a bit after Christmas, so whatever's here, he's played with everything in the bins. We also have a few things in the trunk. I just have to kind of not declutter, just make it a little bit neater. Gonna wipe off the windows just to try and really reset this area, especially since we've all been sick. And then I'm gonna move on to the living room area, but just to show you guys, it is kind of messy. We have the table that he's been eating on with us. There's stuff all over the floor. Things need to be dusted. I have the 2 little Valentine's Day pieces that we have out, some of the hearts, but just a lot to get done. So first the toy area, then the living room. So I started off with the windows, and I just took the Windex, sprayed them down. They hadn't been done in a while. And honestly, I'll probably say in about a week or so, I'm going to start my deep cleaning series that I will always do here on my channel. And that's where I go into every room and clean from top to bottom. We're talking the light fixtures, we're talking all the window moldings, the radiator, the walls, all of that. I feel like honestly, it may not show it fully in these clips that I have of my son's play area, but I pretty much did that on this day. I really went in there, deep cleaned everything, and it feels and looks different. You'll see in the end how it's set up right now is not how it's going to be set up in the end. I tend to pretty much change everything around every time I clean his play area. My son pretty much expects it at this point. He was napping, and I went in with the Lysol wipes and really cleaned off all his toys. Now, most of these things, like the castle you see there, the little racetrack, these are items that he received for Christmas, and has been playing with them almost every single day, if not every day. So they got dirty very, very fast. I was surprised with how much dirt came off with the Lysol wipes. But my family's been sick. If you can't hear it in my voice too, I'm kind of struggling today to kind of breathe with my asthma. But in general, we've all been sick between the schools, daycare, my husband's job. So I really wanted to get in there and disinfect everything. I think it's so important. I used to be better about this when he was a baby, early toddler years. My goal is to get to disinfecting, if not twice a month, at least once a month, where I go through all his toys, wipe down the bins, wipe down each individual thing that he plays with, because all that's left in those bins are toys that he plays with. Anything else has already been decluttered, donated, you name it. You'll see Nick in a minute. He helped me out just because it is a large task, but it's what I would recommend at least once or twice a month. Go through your child's things, really disinfect it. I think that'll help cut down on the germs.
And prove it, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like nighttime almost. We were in too deep in your worn out sweaters, thinking we'll be young forever. Driving in your mom's old hatchback, and we were in too deep. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young, be young, be young. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young forever. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young, be young, be young. Cause I'm thinking we'll be young forever. You were my best friend, didn't care about the rules, good on the weekends. I'll be in fools, drifting to deep space. So brave and so stupid, just like the movies. I was gonna stay in the fight with you, just thinking we would do this until we couldn't do it. Each and every high, every night with you and me so clueless. We were just broken, shattered, singing along to nothing matters. Stray around like night.
Okay, so this is what the space is looking like. Nick and I pretty much cleaned and disinfected all the toys and stuff, a lot of it off camera for like the kitchen and whatnot. He re-tightened the screws on Logan's toy bin area just because it was really loose and wobbly. It's a good thing to check if you haven't done that with your kids' toy chest area, toy storage. I need him to help me move the, we call it just like the toy chest it used to hold when we had our animals. It had their belongings. It's kind of migrated through different roles through the years, but nonetheless, we got to move that. What I am going to do is just vacuum along the sides for now. There's a lot of debris on the floor, a lot of dirt, crumbs, etc. You name it. Same for the carpet. I'm going to get everything vacuumed, going to put that carpet in the wash, get everything washed up, and then I can kind of restart the process of redoing his toy area and how we're going to reorganize that. You're going to see me moving a ton of things around, but I went through and I vacuumed like I usually do. I haven't vacuumed or deep cleaned his play area in months. I can't even say weeks, I mean months, especially taking everything out the way that I did. I had injured my shoulder recently, so it's been tough for me to kind of move things around. Nick had to help me on this day. But let me know if you have a child, if they have a designated play space, a whole separate room in their room. How often are you cleaning that space? How often are you disinfecting the toys? I love seeing different people's routines. And how are you disinfecting it? Are you using Lysol wipes? Are you using bleach diluted in water and just letting it soak, then drying? Are you just kind of passing hot soapy water on it? I'm just interested to know. I know people are into the clean products and things like that, the natural. So I'd love to know how you're all doing it, and what's working best for you and your family.
I've got some special memories. They're all including you and me. You make me forget that I'm shy. When I'm with you, I'm pretty wild. BFFs for life. Feel so good inside. I'm yours and you're mine. Always there, always with you, yeah. You light up my days, make tears go away. Sun shines on my face when you're here, when you're with me, yeah. You and me and you in a teenage dream, living free, coming through like it's supposed to be. In a teenage dream. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You and me and you in a teenage dream, having fun, being dumb like it's supposed to be. In a teenage dream. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. You know what makes me cry or smile. You know what makes me scared at night. We can stay inside for days, but sometimes we stay out way too late. Ooh, we tell each other everything. The secret's so embarrassing. We couldn't tell nobody else.
So now that the floor is all nice and clean and it was vacuumed, I was having some back pain there. I'm going to go ahead and start looking at what I can do in the room. I was waiting for my husband, but this little black carpet almost like thing that you're seeing me put out, that's the base of the ruggable. So I was kind of pissed off because even though it was vacuumed and clean, it lets out crumbs no matter how well you clean it. So I was kind of messing around with it, seeing what grouping I liked best. Did I want the carpet facing one way or another? I thought it was going to look better that way, and I ended up hating it. So we just ended up kind of putting things back to how it was. And you'll see me in a minute. I put the easel there, and I'm like, oh, no, not for me. But I tend to, like I said, move things around. But the base for the Ruggable, I love. I have nothing but good things to say about Ruggable. I would recommend it to my family and friends. It is more of an investment, but you can vacuum, you can wash it. They're pretty durable, so I really enjoy them.
In a teenage dream, having fun, being dumb like it's supposed to be. In a teenage dream. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
Okay, so we shifted a few things around. I didn't like where the chair was. I thought I would in the middle. It just took up a lot of space, so it's going to be over here on the side. I'm waiting for this carpet to be done in the wash so I can put it in the dryer before moving everything back. But this is what we came up with. The kitchen was already there, so I left it there. We've had it in that spot a lot, and I feel like he didn't use it when it was over there for whatever reason. We moved the toy bin from the left side to the right. Easel is now in the middle. It obstructs the window a little bit, but not bad. The trunk is over there, and it actually leaves space in between. So I might be able to push like his little toy shelf over a lot more. This way we have more definition between the two rooms. But what I'll do is I'll show you guys a quick pic or film, I should say, when everything is all put together, when that is out of the dryer. Again, it is a ruggable, so those are pretty easily washed, and then we just kind of roll it out and it's good to go. I usually do that 2 to 3 times a year, so this is the first time this year that I'm doing it. I'll probably do it again sometime in the summer, but that is it for right now until everything is finished. Okay, as promised, I wanted to show what everything looks like once it's done. This came out. My husband helped me roll this out. Full disclosure, Ruggable always says like the one person can do it, but honestly, it's much easier with 2. So this was washed, dried. It looks great, fits great, has not shrunk, and we've washed it handful of times by now. But this is what it's looking like. I still got to put like some of the blankets and stuff away and find some space, but I think this works out much better. So we have his table and chair, so this way he can eat here with us, because I don't have a third tray when we are like eating in the living room. And then we moved his racetrack over here to the side. We can move that to the carpet, no problems. We have the trunk with some stuff over there. The easel will be in front of the mirror, which is the window, which is kind of nice with the sunlight coming in. And then his toy area and kitchen. The kitchen didn't move, but it does create a more open space. My husband kind of brought that up. That's why I'm glad I did move the chair for right now. I just feel like it is more open. You can kind of see everything. And again, if we don't like it, we can just switch it up a little bit ahead of time. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to the living room today, but I'm hoping to finish off at least in the hallway. This way I can call it a wrap. Alright, so last place that I am cleaning today and for this video, since I didn't get to the living room, I was hopeful, but honestly that's going to be probably for another day, another video, it's going to be the hallway. So just kind of dusting, getting that done in here. There's a lot on the floor from when we had snow. We have this little thing set to the side. It has some of the snow boots, snow suits, all that good stuff. So a lot of this stuff I'm going to have to move and clean, but typically in the wintertime I do leave this tray by the door. This way our boots come right off, they go right over here, and we're not tracking in water and, you know, rocks, whatever else onto the floor. So we're going to get this cleaned up, dusted, vacuumed, washed, all that good stuff. I am ready for Valentine's Day. As I mentioned, I do put out a little bit, nothing crazy in terms of decor. I've got a little sign that's down there, some of the lights, this little sign that says Be Mine Valentine. So I'm going to change that in a week because that's been up for about 2, and it'll just say Happy Valentine's Day. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish this up so I can call it a night.
So it was a change of plan. As much as I wanted to do the living room, I just didn't have the energy on this day. But my husband will kind of help me tackle that. But I went over to the hallway. This gets a lot of traffic every single day, whether we're coming through the front door, whether we're coming through the garage door and we have to, you know, go through the hallway to access the closet. It gets a lot of traffic. So it does tend to have a lot of dust, dirt, and just, yeah, the back and forth. So I do want it looking a specific way. I want it nice and clean. So I did go ahead and dust everything. I do use the Swiffer duster. I really like it. I've used it since I can remember, since they came out, I think, when I was living with my parents. I think it traps dust pretty well. But I went through, dusted everything, set up the Valentine's Day decor. This is the most decor you'll probably see in my house is in this little section, and I think that's because it's the entrance. So right there, the sign says Be Mine Valentine, but I'll have one that says Happy Valentine's Day after. I put the little heart lights back out, but this is the extent of what I do, honestly. In the living room, that little set of lights you see here, I also have in the living room, and that is pretty much it. Because again, I do a little bit for Valentine's Day, but since that's my husband's birthday, that's typically where we focus our efforts to celebrate his birthday. From there, I just dusted the rest of the stuff in the hall, and then you'll see me in a minute vacuuming and washing the floors.
Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down.
But this is bringing us to the end of today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed and were able to clean along with me. This was more of an in-depth clean. I haven't done one of those in a long time. And the house definitely feels refreshed. I will be starting my deep cleaning series soon on my channel. So look forward to that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.